Hey, good morning, everybody. It's your friendly missionary Ted down here in Guatemala. Got my morning glasses on so I can see better. As I sit here this morning, waiting on some coffee, and Daniel's still sleeping in his bed. We've had two really long, hard days here in the capital. This is our third day, and so I'm letting him rest a little bit this morning. Just want to share with those of you who are praying for us and concerned about what's going on. Came here a couple days ago with the intent to file papers in the court system to promote the process of adoption for Daniel. Um, Learned that that methodology, which cost me a lot of money and lawyers, was disqualified, was not accepted. Found out the lawyer that we hired, then yet to get another lawyer that we hired, didn't know what she was supposed to do or how to do it, and was unable to communicate about Daniel in our case. So it was a huge disappointment. From there, we explored our other options. We visited the Consejo Nacional de Adopciones, the National Council on Adoptions, and despite the rhetoric that we hear about them helping children, especially children who are in situations where they are basically legally in the eyes still of the government, even though we have legal guardianship and we are completely fine and with that, they are familyless. And the law here states that they are entitled to a family. They have the right to a family. It's one of them cases where we have legal guardianship, but the state, the government, wants to just use us. We're convenient to them because then they don't have to worry about the child. They don't have to pay for the child's welfare, et cetera, et cetera. So we went to the adoption agency, and they wouldn't even let us talk to anyone with real authority or power. We were just constantly sent secretaries, assessors, things like that. So the only thing good about that, he told us to go to the PGN, which is the Procuraduría General de la Nación, which is the lawyers who defend children's rights and children and other things. We were basically turned down there as well in the first day, and we were there till 6:30 at night until someone helped us. Everyone left at 4, except for the actual jefe, the boss. So finally, after I defended my rights and defended Daniel's rights to them, because they had people telling me that because we're foreigners, we can never adopt. Guatemala never adopt. We got to see somebody, and they started helping us. Yesterday, our day was going to the U.S. Embassy, in which we were applying for a visa for Daniel, just a tourist visa, so he can at least travel. As many of you know, I haven't left the country in almost 10 years. I have not been able to get out of Guatemala and go back to the United States, and that's because I won't leave the country without Daniel. I won't leave him here by himself with some strangers or some other people, even if people I know. It's just not safe. And so we were there by our appointed time before, but we couldn't get in. They questioned me extensively. They pulled us aside, had us stand apart for hours, literally hours, and it was bizarre. I can see why they do it. There were literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people applying for visas to get into the United States. It was a lot. And finally, after waiting for 2.5 hours, standing in lines and being sent here and sent there, we got to go to the interview, which is kind of impersonal. You're just at a booth, like a checkout window at a bank or something, and the persons are behind closed glass with a microphone, which is probably for safety, and they start their questioning and stuff like that. I presented all the papers for Daniel and was questioned more, and they're very curt. This person wasn't friendly. I saw other interviewers who were very friendly toward groups of 5 or 6 Guatemalans getting their visas approved together, and people left happy and smiling. When we were done with ours, we didn't leave smiling. We were confused, um, because we were, I submitted all the paperwork, all the documents from the courts here, which they took and copied. And when we were given the actual document, well, she didn't really say with confidence or with a smile or anything. She says, "Well, you're preliminary approved," and gave us a pink slip of paper. And we all know in the United States of America, pink slips, that's not good news to us, right? We think about getting fired and things like that, a pink slip. So I was confused. I said, "Is this a good thing, a pink slip?" "Well, it's a good thing." And it says on there, "Congratulations, your visa application has been approved." And when I watched all the other people getting theirs, no one got a pink slip. But we got a pink slip. And I said, "Okay, so what does that mean?" "Well, we have 2 weeks to continue our investigation," we were told. "And within that 2 week period, you'll be notified via your email that you submitted in the application online whether or not the visa is finally approved." The visa approved. I said, "Oh, okay." And so we kind of left kind of downtrodden. And we had planned on trying to visit other parts of the embassy. But I'm telling you what, I've never met such an anti-American group of people in my life. And I hate to say that, but that's how I felt. And we know that there's established rules and regulations, and somehow we missed something they said, but they had booths before to put things in. But we were criticized, and I don't know. It was a bizarre thing. I really had hopes of talking to a real American about some of our concerns about a lot of things here in our life here. And Daniel, that wasn't American, we think, that spoke at the booth with us. We're not too sure. We asked which language do you prefer, which language should we speak. And Daniel said he wanted to speak in English, so that's what we did. But so that's what we have. We have an approval of an application for visa, which is a good thing. But we saw people leaving without the pink slip and being told, "Congratulations, your visa is approved." And I'm like, wow. So that's where we're at. After that was a long day. We went to the Pehene again, and Daniel was interviewed. I was interviewed. We ditched our lawyer, who caused me to spend literally hundreds and thousands of dollars for documents that weren't worth anything, and fees and all this other stuff. So we did it ourselves, and I talked to them extensively. I provided all the documentation for Daniel. It's being coordinated from the very top of the Pehene at this point, which means the director of the entire Pehene for the government. And the lawyer who's very helpful to us, and the one that was helping me with this situation, told me to be realistic. Told me some things that were hurtful, made me sad. It says Guatemala will never let you adopt this child. It's just how Guatemala is. But don't lose faith. I see you're a man of faith. Don't lose faith. And so I'm not going to lose faith, and I'm going to continue the process. They are actually doing a process for us. We have to follow through. Go back to Guatemala City ASAP with Daniel and my wife Kim in tow, and conduct a group family interview my wife, and submit any more petitions and paperwork to them directly. They will then, on the behalf of Daniel, see what can happen, and pray. Pray for our visa in 2 weeks that we'll get a notification positive, and we'll be able to come to Guatemala City again and pick up his passport with a visa in it from the United States for travel, and pray that God will do the impossible, because that's who our God is, right? That's who I believe. God is our God of the impossible, and I am a person who firmly believes our God is a God of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 100th chances, because that's who He is, because He loves us. So please keep your prayers for us. And my final note, because this is long, at the end of the day yesterday, we were saying goodbye to everyone at the Pehene, and Daniel's a sweet little boy. He hugged every single person in that office, and some of them were just like shocked, that our child would give them love and affection. And then a lady who was helping me take care of Daniel at that institute came up to me and says, "Give Daniel a hug. rubbed his head in his hair. He's got hair. I'm like, Daddy. And she said, you and your wife have done a really good job with this little boy. That was a great thing to hear. And another lady, as we were leaving, the lawyer that was helping us said, it's pretty amazing the things that you have done for our children and for our country, and that you are fulfilling the mission that God gave you in this world. So I'll leave you guys at that. I'm going to go sit down now and have a little bit of breakfast, and I'm going to bring Daniel some, wake his little booty up. Here's my breakfast. And we're out here looking at, see if there's any birdies going to come here today and visit us. No birdies yet. Oh, there's one right there. It's really pretty. It's a pretty bird. It's colorful. You probably can't see it. So, blessings from Guatemala. Thanks for your prayers. I've got more work to do. Got to get back to Guatemala, make arrangements for someone to take care of our property, our animals, and get back here by Monday morning. God bless you guys.